It has been 6 months since the city's inspector general quit.
So who's looking into allegations of fraud, waste, and abuse within city government? Here's News 13's Amanda Goodman.
Well, Dick, not only has there not been an IG for 6 months, but there hasn't been an investigative report released for a year.
It is an important job within the city of Albuquerque, the Inspector General.
They're charged with investigating fraud, waste, and abuse.
But for the last 6 months, it's also been a vacant one.
The Inspector General resigned in mid-December.
It is the Accountability Government Oversight Committee's responsibility to find a new one. They supervise the IG's office. Doug Turner is a new member of the AGOC.
We do need an IG. I mean, that is ultimately what we want to see put into the role. We want to replace that person. It's just taking more time than I think any of us had planned.
That's not the only thing that is taking a lot of time. The office itself has not released an investigative report since last June.
That may be a result that you just don't have an IG sort of keeping an eye out and running as much air traffic. It may be fewer complaints. I don't have an answer to why.
In the past, the office published a dozen or so independent reports a year, many of them high profile, like the investigation that criticized Darren White for hovering at the scene after his wife got into a crash while on prescription drugs, back when White oversaw APD. The IG also investigated the kickback scheme that led to criminal charges against 2 city parts managers. Despite the lack of reports, Turner and the mayor's office insist allegations of fraud, waste, and abuse against city workers are not going unchecked.
They basically have had assistant inspector generals that have been taking up the tips and doing investigations.
As to when we might see the results of those investigations they're working on,
remains to be seen when those are released.
Now, the AGOC did post the IG's job, but then withdrew it in order to tweak the job description. It's not clear when they will repost it. Back to you.
Okay, Amanda, when the last IG quit in December, he complained that the mayor's office had too much say in what the IG should or shouldn't investigate.